Today, at exactly 10:15 p.m., I lost a good friend of 16 years that I had known all the way back on April 10th, 2009. This friend was our orange tabby cat, Avery. I am very taken aback at this. I never realized that there would be a day where he would be gone. He was so ingrained in my life and my family's life that the fact that he's no longer with us just feels extremely surreal and very strange. He would always walk in whenever I was in the middle of recording a video, sitting on my lap, wanting pets, purring like a motorboat. He was always up for love. And that's something that I appreciated deeply about him. And another thing that I thought was really amazing about Avery was that his love was completely unconditional. It didn't matter who you were, where you came from, and as long as you weren't a rival cat or a dog or a different type of species that wasn't a human, he would always see you as a friend. He would always see you as someone to say hello to rub his body against your leg, to sit next to you during a meeting. He didn't really care who you were. He just knew that you would appreciate his company just by being present. That's something that I think we can all learn from. I feel like these days, when everybody, including myself, are so absorbed in our technology, our phones, our own little worlds, we forget to be present and always there. And that's not to say you should just, give up your agenda or what you choose to do with your life all for the sake of being a people pleaser. But what I am saying is, going for your passion has its time and its place, but also knowing when to be there for people, to be present, and to appreciate the company that you're surrounded by is also extremely important. We have to make up as much of ourselves as we have to be there for each other. And that's a lesson that I was taught by our cat, Avery. He was always present. He was always there. And he was never against anyone. He made friends with exchange students, with family friends, even with random strangers. He would always greet them with a smile, a purr, and he loved the attention. And just seeing an animal that has that kind of unconditional love and affection, in my opinion, is extremely inspiring. He never was one to be just shutting away. Like, he was always there. Of course, that didn't mean he was completely flawless. There were times when, he would pee on, shower curtains or couches or electronics, and well, yes, that was very aggravating and annoying. He's a cat. That's what cats do. And it's just a reminder that sometimes there are things that we naturally are inclined to do that we either have no control over because it was the way we were born, or it's just it's just part of our nature. So, and even though he did those things, peed, and sometimes he was a bit greedy with his food. We would give food to all 4 of our cats, and he would always go for seconds, and so even though he was a bit greedy sometimes with food, and he would always every now and then pee on things, most likely to mark his territory, he was always we always showed the same amount of love to him no matter what. Yes, we would get upset at him, we would get angry at him sometimes, but we never let that blind ourselves to our complete and total unconditional love for this cat. Because that's what he gave to us, so we gave it back to him. Avery being gone really makes me realize that, and it gives me perspective that, man, this cat, Avery, he's been around for more than half my life, and now he's no longer around, and that's very strange to me. It's very strange, and it sort of has made me start asking questions about how I spend my time. I go back to some of my videos sometimes to watch them and see what I did on a particular day. Most of the time, I'm reacting. I'm not really being proactive or creating. I'm not really considering the present moment. I'm always considering the past. And while it is important to evaluate the past to make more informed decisions in the future, if that's all you're doing, it gets to a point of just being mental self-gratification and not mental proactivation. And as silly as it sounds, looking back on Avery's life, I realized he was always present. He was always thinking of the now. He was never concerned about what was the best video game or movie from 2009, or he was never concerned about why one episode of a TV show was better than another episode, or what a controversy from 10 years ago was. He was only concerned about what was happening right now. And even though this is a pre-recorded video that as soon as I upload it, it's just going to be part of the past, and in a way, I'm kind of promoting what I'm kind of, in a way, speaking against. It is a way of me sort of self-realizing that one of the biggest lessons I've learned from my cat was that the most important thing you can do is be present. Is to always consider what's happening right now. Because, I'm thinking of the line from Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. Yesterday was history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. And that's why it's called present. And Avery treated every day like it was a gift. And every day that he was with us, it was a gift. After a long, hard day at work, after, pushing carts, sweeping floors, bagging for customers, helping customers to their groceries outside, or bringing food to people, and getting home and being exhausted from it all, I could always count on him being there waiting for me. And, because I think people always say cats don't really, they don't have those, the understanding of ooh, I don't understand what this person's feeling. All I think of them is a food delivery device. And I don't think that's true at all. I think that cats are a lot more intelligent than what a lot of people give them credit for. And I feel like they just have a deeper sense of how one is feeling. I think about, there was one time when our family was going through a rough patch way back in 2011. We had a black cat at the time named Ralph, and he sensed that we were in distress, and so he came up to each and every one of us and rubbed his body on all of us, because he understood what we were going through. And I feel like Avery understood what we were going through every day, and would always offer that friend to confide in, to rest with, to pet, to be soothed by. And I am just eternally grateful for his presence. I'm so happy that I was able to experience life with him. He was someone that I'm never going to forget as long as I live. And I am counting the days to see him again, when eventually I'm going to go too. And perhaps he'll be waiting for me on the other side. No, he will be waiting for me on the other side. I know it. It's times like these where you realize just how temporary life is. We always get caught up with, what's the next drama-filled moment? Or, what's the next gossiping thing? Or, what's the next exciting new fun thing to, talk about or whatever. But it all, when a moment like this comes to you, it kind of makes you realize, we have such a short time here on planet Earth. We have such limited time. Time is the most valuable asset. It's not cash. It's not, prestige. It's not, popularity. It's time. Because you can always make back money, but you can't never make back time. And again, when I go back to these older videos, it makes me realize that I waste so much time. I could be spending it being creative. I could be spending it strengthening my skills as an artist. I could be spending time with my loved ones. But instead, I spend it on YouTube, on gaming, and there's nothing wrong with that to an extent. But when you overindulge in it, it becomes less of a pastime and more of a drug, because it begins taking more than it's giving. So And this whole experience with my cat has made me realize that. So I feel like now is the time to start taking now seriously. So I just want to say that I love my cat Avery. He's gone. He will never be forgotten. And I'm going to miss him. Tomorrow morning, me and the family will have a personal burial for him, and we'll make a eulogy and a little plaque above his space, and we'll have our final goodbyes with him. It's going to be extremely bizarre not having him waiting on me every time I get home from work. It's going to feel like something's missing. Like a piece of our puzzle is just not there anymore. But when it's your time, it's your time. And I'm just happy that he left when me and my mom were standing next to him. He was in a cardboard box, and he allowed his last breaths, and when he was gone, we all said we loved him and we thanked him for everything he gave us. So thank you, Avery. I love you. And I can't wait to see you in the next life. Goodbye, friend.